Hi guys, welcome back. I've been getting a lot of questions about sour jars, so I just wanted to go over a basic sour jar as well as ingredients that you can choose to use. You want to choose the ingredients that work best for the situation that you're working on. Don't forget to smash that bell, like and share the videos, and that way you can have all our newest content. If you have questions, leave them in the comments or email me at myspellitnaturally@gmail.com. So the first thing that you need for a sour jar is a jar. Make sure it's cleansed. If you do not know how to cleanse a jar, there is a video in my collection on how to properly cleanse a jar for the working of magic. The next thing you want is some incense. I prefer dragon's blood when working on sour jar, but depending on the intent, you can use different incense depending on what it specifically you're looking to sour. So the next thing that you want is you want a photo or a name paper. So you want to remember that your name paper needs to have no machine cut edges. If you do not have a name paper but you have a photo, that works too. Name paper, you're going to write the name and date of birth 3 times, turn it a quarter turn counterclockwise, and then you're going to write sour their life, sour their relationship, whatever the ultimate intent is. Remember, keep it simple, because the more simple, the easier the magic has to work. It flows like water. It's going to take the path of least resistance. So if you give it too many restrictions or demands, it's going to work slower, it's going to work harder, and it's going to take forever, and the power of the magic may get lost in the translation somewhere. If you have a paper, on the back of the paper, you're going to write the person's name and date of birth, and then quarter turn counterclockwise, and then write your intentions again. On a picture, you only need to write it 1 time, but 3 is acceptable as well. Next, I'm going to go down a list of ingredients that you can use in a sour jar. You're going to choose what works best for you and the circumstance that you're doing, but I'm going to give you a list that I have made. It is not an all-inclusive list. There are many other options out there, but this should get you started. So the first thing that you want is some vinegar. This is balsamic vinegar. I usually use white vinegar, but that's the only vinegar I have in the house currently. Vinegar is too sour. It'll also be very specific in dissolving relationships if that is what you are looking to do. The next 2 ingredients are the lemon and the lime. I tend to use either a whole half of a lemon or a whole half of a lime, or a slice of each. But if you do not have access to fresh fruit like that, or don't have it in the house, and you happen to have lemon or lime essential oils, you can use those as well. Those are a couple of the brands that I keep around the house. So the lemon will sour as well. It also reveals damaging truth. So if you're looking to get someone to tell the truth in a situation, the lemon can help with that. Lime is also just sour, and it encourages deceit. So if you're trying to break up a relationship, that might help as well. So if you're trying to break up a relationship, I would recommend a lemon and a lime, because you want them to deceive them, but you also want the truth to come out, that they're deceiving them. Another great ingredient that you can use is vodka. And that makes the work last. So you want to make sure that if you want this to be something that happens and you want it to stay with them for a real long time, adding vodka in is a really good ingredient. Whiskey is bittering, and it makes the work last as well. The next thing that you can use is hot peppers. They don't have to be fresh hot peppers. You can use fresh hot peppers. I actually make my own hot pepper powder, and I like to use this in my sour jars. Or you can use crushed red pepper flakes. Any brand will do. The brands that I have just happen to be what is available at the stores local to me. You can also use other pepper seeds or any other hot peppers that you have. So hot peppers encourage anger and fighting in their life. The next thing that you're going to want is garlic. Now, you can use garlic as minced garlic, as powdered garlic, as fresh garlic. It's really up to you. Garlic brings on disgust and repulsion, and it's a really great ingredient in sour jars, especially when dealing with relationships as well. The next is onion. You can use a slice of a real onion, a quarter of a real onion, however you want. You can use a whole real onion if you want. You can use onion powder. You can use onion flakes. It really is up to you. But the onion will provide disconnections in relationships. And that can be, when I say relationships, I'm not just talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, what have you. It could be mother-son. It could be father-daughter. It could be uncle and you. It could be any type of relationship. So it could be a friendship. It could be non-blood related friendship. It could be making sure that a friendship doesn't last anymore, or a toxic person is taken out of your life. So that the relationship between you and them, it's all in the intention. You want to make sure your intentions are very clear. The next thing that I like to use is poppy seeds. This causes confusion, intoxication, and nightmares. Another great ingredient is alum, which stops communication or speech. So if you're trying to stop people from talking to this person, or you're trying to ruin their life in a really powerful way. Another great ingredient is small cucumber pickles, which promotes male impotency. If you want to promote female hormonal problems, you can use beet pickles. Another ingredient that you can use is just basic salt, regular salt, and that puts salt in their wound. You want to make sure that when you're blessing and activating these ingredients that you're telling the universe exactly what it is that you're looking for this ingredient to do, because these ingredients have other purposes. So you want to make sure you're very specific and that you bless and activate each ingredient individually when putting it in the jar. I try to stay with the rule of 3. 3, 6, 9. In souring, I prefer 9. So if you're going to use ingredients, use 9 ingredients in a sour jar. I find that works the best. That does not include the name paper or the picture. 9 actual herbs or ingredients. The next thing that you can add is hot sauce. I don't have any down here with me, but the hotter the better. And this causes irritation and burning. You can put your own urine in. The thing that I always tell people is do not pee directly into the jar. Pee into a separate container. Bless and activate that urine to represent you pissing on their life, and that it's not representing you as a person. A lot of people do not want to put their DNA into a sour jar, and that is okay too. If you have access to cat and dog fur, you want to use those synonymously. You do not want to use them just cat fur or just dog fur. You want to use them together, which causes fighting like cats and dogs and discord in relationships. The next thing that you can add in is coffin nails. And this promotes negativity. You can use regular nails. So I keep a jar of rusty old nails for these types of things. It's also how I make my war water, which will be discussed in another video. I also keep old staples that are all rusted and rotted. Or you can just use regular nails. They don't have to be rusted and rotted because they will rust. But as you see, there's a few in here that are already starting to rust. It can be screws, it can be nails, it can be staples, whatever. And what this represents is poking or pinching at their luck. You want to include spiders or insects in here. I usually keep a jar with bees that I find in my windowsill during the hotter months. And this is added negativity, life decomposing or falling apart. You can use ants. Ants are great. Scorpions if you have access to them. Any type of bug that pinches or bites or pulls things apart, or stings. The next thing that you can use, and this is a really great ingredient, is mustard seed, which I actually don't think I have down here right now. I don't. It's upstairs because I was using it for an actual recipe the other day. But this makes couples fight and causes misunderstandings. So if you're looking to break up a couple, this is a great ingredient for that. If you want to cause misunderstandings at work, if you want to cause misunderstandings with a specific person, you just want to make sure you intention the mustard seed appropriately. The next is ground cayenne pepper or a cayenne pepper, or however you want to get the cayenne in there. And this removes blockages, brings bad luck, causes revenge, and it's used in crossing and hexing. Chili pepper is also another great one. This makes lies burn the tongue. Crushed red pepper will do the same as well. Cloves. So if you have access to cloves, I prefer whole cloves, not ground cloves, but whole cloves. This brings a domination piece to it, but you need to be very specific with the intent, again, with cloves, because it can be used for so many other things. So you want to use this if you are trying to become a dominant person over the person, and that's what's going to cause their hardship. Now, while salt can be used by itself, if you're going to use it as a salt and pepper, you want to make sure that you have your black pepper. It can be ground or it can be whole, but you want to use it in combination with the salt so that and you want to mix them together beforehand, and you want to bless and activate them for fighting. If you want to cause fighting, you would mix salt and pepper together and then add them blessed and activated that way. You can also use pepper by itself, and you would that would be used for breakups or to inflame the ritual. Another great ingredient is sulfur. I buy mine online. It's a fine powder. Comes with a scoop, which is great. And this causes fighting. It is a very potent ingredient, so you want to make sure that that is what you want to happen. If you want them to fight, or them, to fight with this person, to fight with everyone in their life, just make sure you bless and activate it with the exact intent that you're having. Another great one is wormwood. So wormwood is great for return to sender. So if someone has wronged you and you want them to feel the pain of what they've done to you, that's a great ingredient for return to sender. Now, there are other ingredients that you can use for domination, such as licorice root and things like that. Because licorice root is so potent, I tend to use a lighter domination in my sour jars. Again, I would choose 9 ingredients. This is not an all-inclusive list. You can add other things. Just make sure that you know exactly what intent you're using when you add your ingredients. So either 3, 6, or 9 ingredients, and then you want to seal it. So I seal my sour jars with a black candle. So once I bless and activate my candle for the working of magic, I use it to seal my jar, and then I melt a little at the bottom and I stick it on the top of the jar itself after I've sealed it completely, and I allow this to burn down, and I go over my intentions as it's burning, and I meditate on them for a minimum 5 minutes, and I make sure that I'm in a real good rage when I'm doing it. Then I like to take duct tape and put it around the jar. And then I burn another candle on top of it. All the while I've been burning this incense. Now, mind you, when I go to close my jar, before I seal it and close it, I put my incense in like this and get the smoke in there, and I trap some of it in there so that it's taking that energy and that power from that incense and it's putting it into that jar for you. Once you have done that, you're going to shake this so hard with all your fury and rage, and then you're going to store it somewhere dark. I use a dark corner in my basement, and then I re-intention it here and there. I do have a calendar that I keep track of when I re-intention. And then when I feel like the work is starting to take its course the way that I want it to, I burn one last candle on the top of the magic, whether it's black. In this case, I used a red candle, but that's specific to the work that's inside this jar. But I burn a black candle on top of it, and I intention the candle and the jar to continue to sour the person's life in the way that I have originally intended, and I say that I'm going to put the jar into the exterior trash where it will be brought to the dumpster or to the dump or the local landfill, and it will continue to cause souring, and their life will be in the garbage pits forever. And I leave it at that. Again, like and share, ring the bell, questions to myspellitnaturally@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Bye.